Hi, Steven. Yeah. We're here. Finally. I thought we did it already, but turns out I thought we did this one already, but turns out it was the other one, Dark Tomorrow, which is the worst Batman game ever. And then he sent this one in as well with his request, basically saying, Can you do this one too? And I thought we did it already, but I was wrong. I was wholeheartedly wrong, and sorry about that. So, Batman and Robin, the worst Batman game ever 2. So, there are good Batman games. There are great Batman games. Hell, there's some Batman games I consider to be some of the greatest games of all time. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. I know for you, Arkham Origins is high up there as well.
Well, I admit that it's not as good as the other two, but I think it's still quite the fun Batman game.
Nothing wrong with that.
And the same thing with Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Knight has its flaws, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still give Arkham Knight, as is, like an 8.5 out of 10. And Arkham Knight, or Arkham Asylum, I give like easily a 9.5. Arkham City is like
so Asylum, I give a 9.5, and then like City's a 10. So
Arkham City is one of the most.
The only thing Asylum doesn't have going for it is like the extra like open world and content that City managed to do, you know?
Well, City literally gives you like a good portion of Gotham to go through, especially, you know, iconic places like the wharfs, the the docks, the Iceberg Lounge, and also not only that, but Crime Alley, the actual alley where Bruce's parents were killed, which I love. Dude, I had a scene. It was an accidental thing. It triggered a voice line from Doctor Strange whenever I went into Crime Alley to pay my respects, and as I leaned down, it was Doctor Strange basically doing a speech saying it's basically just saying like, you'll never change, you will always be tied down to the things that hold you back, and that is why you are going to lose. While I'm kneeling there at the site.
I'm pretty sure it does that every time.
Not sure if it. Well, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure I remember there being a Doctor Strange voice line during that. Whenever he kneels down there too.
Yeah, I didn't have it the other time. The other times I played though, I played like two. I played through the game like 2 more times.
Maybe it depends on whether or not you go there whenever he's been revealed or not. Because if he hasn't been revealed yet, then it wouldn't spoil it probably. But if you go there,
I guess
after he's been revealed, maybe it plays that line and he taunts you.
Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, the Batman game. There's been good Batman games, great Batman games, and of course, bad.
No, wait,
Batman
no,
games.
he's not the one that gets revealed. He's revealed at the beginning. So
Yeah,
I was thinking of Raj.
Oh yeah, right. Oh no, Raish, dude. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul. Him, when he gets revealed, that's a whole thing. And then Talia as well. But yeah, anyway, Batman and Robin, the worst Batman game ever 2. This is a request for the one and only Steven. So let's go ahead and get into it. Are you ready? Let's go.
Batman and Robin is an action-adventure title developed by Probe Entertainment and released to the PlayStation in 1998.
The game is based on the 1997 Batman and Robin film, the final chapter in a popular run of Batman flicks started in 1989.
These 4 films saw a rotating cast of actors, writers, and directors that resulted in huge creative shifts. From Tim Burton's dark and mature take on the classic comic book series to Joel Schumacher's neon-infested cartoon fever dream.
The Batman and Robin movie is notorious for several reasons.
It was the lowest-grossing live-action Warner Brothers Batman film.
It made the studio cancel a planned sequel.
It won Worst Picture.
It had bat nipples.
Thank you, Joel Schumacher. Once again, Joel Schumacher basically did something with Batman Forever where he made it more cartoonish and made it appeal more to kids, and it actually made more money than Batman Returns. So when that happened, Warner Brothers was like, screw it, let's just give him full creative control to let him do whatever he wants. And then we get this.
Oh, also, I wonder if that's meant to be bat nipples or if it was just meant to be bolts on the armor.
Oh, no, it's bat nipples.
Why?
Because it's Joel Schumacher.
Why?
Because it's Joel Schumacher.
Why?
He's gay. And he's into BDSM.
Okay.
I know. Well, he was. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher. While you did give us the worst Batman movie ever, you did give us Lost Boys, and I thank you for that. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher.
And yet somehow, and I can't believe I'm saying this, somehow this game is worse.
Let's awkwardly
a
glide
festering
into
pile of
Batman
shit.
and Robin on the PS1.
Upon starting the game, we're treated to an intro cinematic.
We get a swooping scene of Gotham City with Mr. Freeze driving his Freeze-mobile out from the bowels of the streets. He destroys city property and causes several cars to explode, likely injuring loads of people in the process. Freeze exits his car, stares up at the bat signal, and laughs.
Where's Batman during all this, you might be thinking? Well, surely Bruce Wayne is miles away, only now glimpsing the bat signal in the sky, and is quickly pulling on his bat pants to assist people on the street and take on Mr. Freeze.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the cutscene we saw Batman just standing on a nearby rooftop.
He's just watching people die?
Yup.
Wow! 10 seconds in and Batman is colder than Mr. Freeze.
But suddenly, the scene is over. The game begins in the Batcave with our hero, Batman, standing in front of the Bat computer.
A dialogue box pops up noting that Mr. Freeze is looking for power, whatever that is, and that it's up to Batman to decipher the clues to find...
Who is he, Terry Crews? Mm-hmm. Could you imagine Terry Crews instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze? It'd be hilarious, because... instead of being like, freeze in hell, Batman. Instead, it'd be like, it's like, damn, Batman, I'm gonna kill you, Dad. They just
taste my frosty power.
It's like, was that my left bicep? Nah, it was my abdominals. So stupid.
And the exact
Mr.
time and
Freeze
place
loves
that
his
Freeze
wife.
will be committing his next crime.
We're
Mr. Freeze
told to
gonna
press
save his wife.
do on the
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 controller to start up the Bat computer.
Okay.
And in a few seconds, we'll find ourselves using one of the most high-tech crime-thwarting databases ever in the history of cinema and comics.
It's a Mac.
What?
It's a late 90s Apple Mac.
Just
Gross.
that is awful. Awful.
Tosh, the Bat computer is a Bat Mac.
And the Bat computer has an icon called Bat Computer.
You know,
Doug Walker would be shooting the screen right now, because not only do we have to deal with the Bat credit card, we have to deal with the Bat computer application.
oh, so you can access the Bat computer while on the Bat computer?
So you, as Batman, check the computer, look at some clues, and by combining and analyzing these random objects, the Bat computer comes to the conclusion that, obviously, Mr. Freeze is going to steal the Sudan diamond from the Gotham Museum.
Where did these clues come from? Why does Mr. Freeze want a diamond? Why didn't Batman just follow Mr. Freeze after watching him maim Gotham citizens at the start?
Great questions. We have no answers. We jump into the Batmobile and drive off. Guided through the city streets, we're told by pop-ups exactly where to go. Helpful.
And upon arrival at the museum...
We press do to enter.
Oh, okay. And once we're in, we
What's
find
up with
that...
that, I wonder.
I don't know. Do. Instead of like press X or square or triangle or
Like, are they
circle.
trying to say press square or circle? Like,
It just says press do.
doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
We're kind of early.
Hello? Crime? This is kind of awkward.
Where's the
Oh,
crime?
echoey. It's Halo.
Don't worry, though. The game expected you
You're
to
3
be here
years too
early,
early,
so it
Batman.
gives you an option to fast-forward time to when the crime is committed.
Once the alarms go off, Batman rushes into the museum and takes on hordes of Freeze's henchmen, shattering them into pieces because they're ice people, I suppose. After many a low-level lackey fight, Mr. Freeze himself makes an appearance to steal the diamond.
We rush up to face him, and
What just happened? Did we lose?
we did! There are no lives or continues in this game. When you die, you're treated to this grim cinematic, and you restart all the way at the main menu.
oh hell no.
No. No.
Okay, clearly we must have missed a tutorial or combat training or something. Let's head back to the Batcave and explore it a bit more to see what we can do and learn.
Welcome to the Batcave, where you can
Practice your Batarang skills with moving targets.
take on virtual baddies using advanced hologram technology.
Switch characters between Batman, Robin, and Batgirl.
Use a magic healing chamber.
Use a magic energy replenishment chamber.
Use the famous Bat Computer.
Access your many vehicles.
Use a glowing, blinking staircase to enter Wayne Manor.
Explore Bruce Wayne's homestead that is filled with combat training holograms and more target practice sections.
And most important of all, in the House of Wayne, you get to use your rocket boots.
That awkwardly propel you stiffly up into the air with very little control.
Speaking of control,
Everything
all
up
three of
until the
character-
very little control thing, I was like, well, this sounds kind of neat. Like, you know,
It
but
would be if they would have put
in-
forth the effort
yeah, I
to
was
like
gonna say, like,
flesh it
in-
out.
on paper it sounds kind of neat, but I'm sure
Well,
in action it's all pretty trash.
It's just like Dark Tomorrow. Dark Tomorrow started out with lofty goals, but had to cut every corner in the world in order just to be released. This is the same deal. Literally, you could do interesting things with this. You could literally have Alfred there, and he interacts differently with each one of the different members of the Bat family. Like, Robin would come up and be like, "Hey, Al." He's like, "Master Robin, please do mind yourself. I do need to tell you this after cleaning up your mess last time." Oh, it's just a little party, Alfred. Nothing to worry about. Or just something. You can do something. But no, this is too much. Too much to expect from, this game.
At least the art team on this kind of went hard.
I will admit, there are parts of this that actually look really cool.
Yeah, for a PlayStation 1 game, this looks pretty good.
Yes.
characters you can play as in this game don't exactly handle the same way. In fact, some of them just outright don't function properly, like Batgirl.
You'd think that it's a simple cosmetic swap and that all the characters in this game that you can play as are treated equally. But in a section like this, where Batman easily jumps over this ledge here and smashes through this window...
Yeah, for Batgirl, she doesn't seem to be able to quite make the jump.
What?
Anyway, we spent tons of time in the Batcave and around...
Her character's geometry is broken, I guarantee you.
Probably.
I guarantee you, her hitbox is literally, like, her jump mechanic is literally, instead of being, like, focused on, like, her player model, instead it's literally, like, her player model and, like, a space above and below her, which is not good, man. It just shows me that they didn't take the time to, like, program the other characters in properly.
Here's what we learned about movement and combat.
The magnifying glass at the top left represents exploration and platforming. When you have that selected, you can interact with objects in the world, jump, or use items like your Batarang. However, you can switch that magnifying glass to a fist, which represents combat. When that's selected, it changes all of your buttons to combat buttons like punching or kicking. But in this mode, you lose the ability to jump or use items like your Batarang, so you need to strategically switch between both during every single battle.
Okay, that's not the greatest
If
thing.
you push one of the attack buttons with the magnifying glass activated, it will trigger an instant heal option that you cannot activate when the fist is selected. And because every enemy in this game drains your health very easily, you'll have no choice but to switch constantly on the fly.
Oh, wow, that sounds really...
terrible.
There's also a second set of symbols to the right of the magnifying glass and the fist that can be switched from one triangle to 3 to represent the speed of your general movements. Combined, this gives you a total of 4 possible modes of movement just for Batman to functionally be Batman. This is what you gotta learn.
Okay,
This
take
is
that
hell.
all in and understand that basic movement in this game is centered around tank controls.
Sounds like they
That means stilted
overcomplicated things.
Sounds like it.
movements are added onto the already finicky action control setup that will have you pressing the wrong buttons. In a game like this with no lives and no continues, that means you're going to be playing whole chunks of game over again.
Speaking of playing whole sections over again, let's try fighting Mr. Freeze just one more time.
I mean, we're ready, we trained, the controls are awful, but we know how they work.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Maybe
Awful, but
don't
we know
run
how they
straight
work.
at him.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Hey, Rerez. You gotta restart the game. Yep.
Controls
That'd be
are
my
tough,
reaction.
the enemies hit hard, and the combat feels broken. But that's not the only problem here. The game features a non-player controlled camera that's always jumping around, making fighting that much harder.
Eventually, we got past Freeze, but how did we do it?
We spammed the kick button. Back kick, back kick, back kick, back kick, back kick.
That works?
Not every time.
We wanted to
him
get
in the
into the next
groin.
mission, but as soon as you complete
Take him in his ice balls.
the museum stage,
Or
you're
snowballs.
Snowballs, yeah.
Damn.
on your own. The game no longer gives you any hints. In fact, we need to collect our own clues to find the next possible crime location. We found 3. Now we have to head back to the Bat computer and put these clues together.
Did you say put clues together? That sounds like it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Clues Blues!
No.
Hey kids, Batman's kind of stuck here. Can you help me find out what Mr. Freeze's clues mean? Okay, we've got alarm schematics, a walkie-talkie with no power source, and a picture of Mr. Freeze. Could this mean that Mr. Freeze is alarmed that he doesn't have batteries for his walkie-talkie?
No.
Yeah, probably not. What do you think? No. That's probably not right.
No!
Wow.
That's mean.
It became apparent
Bro. No.
real quick that the clues we had didn't actually add up to anything. I guess we have to look for more?
Mr. Freeze was defeated, but now we need to stay in the museum and find clues before we leave so that we can get to the next mission.
Where could they be? Well, here's where the game gets a little bit dirty.
Every level you'll play may have clues hidden behind or inside objects that you might not know about.
I love this. Batman is in a museum surrounded with priceless artifacts, and he has no choice
Break
but to destroy
everything.
everything he sees to be sure he doesn't miss a single clue.
They
if
turned
you're
like
not-
detective stuff into like a fucking like
Smashing.
Easter egg hunt. Like
Yeah, they basically let you, instead of being Batman, they made you Link with all the pots. Just break the pots to find the treasure. Win a prize.
Not frustrated with the most unfair.
you take something that's supposed to be like a logic puzzle and remove all logic from it and make it like tedium. Like
Oh yeah.
no, don't do that. No.
Scavenger hunt ever put into a
This is
digital
painful.
world, you'll also find that some clues require specific abilities to get, like on top of really tall objects that require you to use your iconic rocket boots.
Rocket boots that, by the way, have limited use and can run out while in a mission. So if you trigger them incorrectly and fail at using them, yeah, that could result in some clues never being grabbed.
I'm leaving in my bad boots. I don't think I can reach that clue.
This clue system is a
I
part
freaking hate. Listen, like, there are some old games that are not considered terrible, but I've always hated the idea of like, yeah, you can completely get like locked out of being able to grab something during a mission, so that you'll have to replay the whole damn mission to get it.
Oh my god.
Like, as much as I love Jet Force Gemini, I never beat it because of the stupid fucking tribals.
Yeah.
The ants would execute the tribals in certain places, and you had to rescue, I think, every single one before it would let you fight the last boss of the game.
Yes.
I
It was
never
hell.
actually beat it
It was hell.
for that reason.
part of every single mission you play, and it leads to utter confusion. Clues that seemingly serve no purpose will stay with you forever, mudding your attempts to find other mission locations. And unless you are very, very lucky, there's always the chance you've missed clues, which the game doesn't tell you.
Oh, and if for some reason you do figure out that you've missed something and try to go back to a mission location you've already left, the clues are gone. They disappear the moment you leave a location.
So all of this creates a pretty bad time. But the developers were like, hey, let's make it worse. Let's leave clues randomly on the sides of city streets. You might see them, you might not, and maybe they're useful, but maybe they're not.
Maybe you want to check out the clues that you've collected to see if you should still be scrounging around Gotham. But guess what? You can't!
You'll need to return to the Batcave or find a Bat computer somewhere in the streets of Gotham in order to look at the clues you have.
Anyway, after our
Oh god. Good luck.
fight with Freeze, we were lucky enough to find the right clues to lead us to our next mission location, a jewelry store.
Right, so we go to our map of Gotham City and whoa, this map is big.
It was at this point that we discovered that this game is actually a fully realized 3D open world experience. This is years before other developers would master this concept.
That's kind
can
of
take full on-
impressive.
It is.
Just they failed at a lot of other things, so it's exploring. It's not going to be fun.
See, if they were to remake this game in the modern era, but not with the shitty paint job of Batman and Robin, but instead with something else, this could actually be pretty good.
I mean, it would basically be Arkham Knight.
It would be, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. There was something here. It's just missed opportunity.
On real-world minutes to travel from one point to another in Gotham. It's seriously impressive, something that the developers likely spent a really long time on creating.
Yeah, real shame it sucks, though.
Batman drives his famous Batmobile.
A vehicle
You
that
can
is
tell, obviously,
obviously
they've done a trick to where, like, it loads parts of the city as you go, and there's a pre-rendered backdrop.
Yeah, they got the sky. They got like a shitty box here.
I mean, still, like, for the time, like, that's a good idea, like, you know, so that's at least something the game gets right.
Far too large for the city streets.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Oops. No. Okay. Nope.
The Austin Powers did.
Okay.
You constantly run into oncoming traffic or obstacles, which is only made
Well,
worse
you're driving
by
on the
having
left
a
side of
super
the road.
short viewing distance.
The PlayStation likely wasn't capable of displaying much further than what you're seeing right here.
Yes, the world is big. Yes, it's highly detailed. Yes, this is impressive.
But no! Good gameplay, this isn't.
Enemies are tossed at you incredibly fast with virtually no reaction time. Even when you're getting Batman out of the car and onto the street, the villains keep pouring over you.
Batman to Robin. Batman to Robin. Stupid people keep crashing into my legs. Batman needs his boy Wonder.
Get him, Robin. At least Robin's more maneuverable.
All right, Batman, have a run.
Oof.
And he's dead.
Robin? Robin? Hello? I wish he was here. He could help me figure out why all these cars keep crashing into this wall.
I was gonna say, it's the NPCs realizing they're in a shitty Batman game, and they're just like...
Figure out why all these cars keep crashing into this wall.
They're just like, freedom!
Guys, I found a way out.
Actually,
Figure out why all these cars keep crashing into this wall.
guys, you're not gonna believe this. I found a way out of this shitty Batman game. That was dark.
Holy shit! Back to the Batmobile.
Holy shit!
It has very few defenses, and in many cases, when you're surrounded by enemies, you'll likely kill innocent people.
Oh yeah, did we forget to mention? Batman straight up murders people in this game.
The Batmobile
You attacked a civilian. Feel their pain.
fires bullets and blows up vehicles. You can also use that same weapon to destroy anyone you see in the city streets.
Funny enough, that shattering thing we talked about earlier where Batman punches people to pieces, yeah, the same thing happened.
Uh-oh. Internet. Don't do this, Internet. Don't do it. Don't do... Okay, thank God.
That shattering thing we talked about earlier where Batman punches people to pieces, yeah, the same thing happens out here with everyone. Goon, citizen, it doesn't matter.
Fuck.
Are the
So
people
they
of Gotham made of glass?
They weren't ice people in the first level.
Sorry, it's Discord going off again.
Everybody
Sounds like
breaks like they're made of ice. It looks really strange.
Overall, car combat is wildly unresponsive and punishing. Just the act of driving the car is insanely hard. You'll hit everything.
Enemies peel back your health like wrapping paper, putting your chances of survival at near zero.
Oh, and don't think you can outrun your enemies. They're all way faster than you are, and they always catch up.
And yet, you must drive, because this is an open world game. To get from one mission to the next, you'll have no choice but to drive to that location. Fast traveling to a crime is not an option.
Let's pull up that Gotham map again. When you select a place you need to go, it gets pointed out at the bottom right radar you see while you're driving.
Problem is, the mini-map is a mess. Lines that represent streets are sandwiched together without a gap, causing massive confusion when you're trying to navigate the insanely complicated maze that is Gotham City streets.
You'll never be able to know when you need to turn anywhere.
It's a completely non-functional map system in an open world game. Great!
Now, perhaps by this point, after hearing all the flaws of this game and barely getting past the very first mission, you'd assume that the game couldn't be any harder.
Well, here's one more layer of complexity that will keep you in a constant state of panic.
This whole game, it's timed.
What?
No.
What?
No.
What?
Absolutely not.
This, oh my god. I want to find every copy of this game and run over it with a steamroller.
Timed.
Everything is timed.
If you let the game sit idle, Mr. Freeze will commit all of his crimes and destroy Gotham, leaving you with a game over and once again visiting that awful, awful end cutscene.
You saw that museum? You thought we could take our time carefully fighting every enemy? You can't. Wait long enough and Mr. Freeze will get away.
Thought we could spend a long time hunting for clues? You can't! If you take too long looking for clues, the next crime will have already started.
You may have noticed a save option on the Bat computer earlier on. Well, it's true, you can save your progress, but you need to be near a Bat computer to do that. So, you'll waste in-game time driving to a computer, which, by the way, some are just out in the wild.
You know, the most high-tech crime-thwarting database ever in the history of cinema and comics? Yeah, it's just sitting there like a freaking ATM with no password protection or anything. Someone could just go up to it, try to get gas money, and instantly learn all of Batman's secrets.
What? Oh no! My bat picks!
No!
So, you can save at a Bat ATM, but they're sparsely placed and often take plenty of time to get to.
Let's not forget that if you finished a chunk of gameplay and haven't found these needle-in-a-haystack save spots, all that progress will be lost.
Load game, drive to mission, beat mission, drive to Bat ATM, can't find ATM and die. Reload right from the start of that loop. That sounds like fun, right? Right?
You do have the ability to fast travel to one location in this game, though.
The
And that's
Batcave.
to the Batcave, the furthest point from anything in Gotham. And they give you a 5-minute penalty for having the audacity to want to quick travel to save. All
That is no. No, no, no.
right, everybody, you get it now. This is
hate
a
this.
huge game with a wall of difficulty that is unlike almost any other game we have played.
I can see why Acclaim went under now. The fact that they published this bullshit shows me it's just like, well, quality assurance, none of it here.
There is
They
no
published
way
some other
anyone-
stuff I liked, but
Oh, dude, the friggin' Turok games, Acclaim killed those. They were so good.
One was prepared for what this experience was actually like.
Wait, where were we supposed to be going again?
To the jewelry store! How is no one paying attention?
Right.
Yeah, okay. There are several jewelry stores in Gotham, and your clues point to all of them. But you have to find out which is the correct one to go to. Once you get to that one, you again have to wait for the alarms to go off before you can start thwarting crime.
Each of these jewelry stores are filled with annoying enemies, tight hallways, and tons of terrible level design. But you must traverse them all to find diamonds that the criminals are trying to steal.
They don't even look like stores after a while. They just seem to eventually devolve into complicated mazes.
Every door in these stores needs to be broken apart instead of just being opened, so Batman will punch them to pieces, I guess.
Moving
That
forward,
punch.
you've got false floors that break apart when Batman walks in them, having him fall into hidden pits and rooms.
Sometimes there are hallways that are just filled with them.
Now
I hate when
Batman
that
needs to
happens
hop like
whenever
a
I'm in
bunny
the
to get
jewelry
through.
store.
Also,
Oh, yeah, them death-defying pits. Yeah.
are invisible until you fall through them. Sometimes, not
Some
always.
jewelry
but
store owner got robbed one too many times, so he just started resorting to fucking straight up booby traps.
I wonder if that's where all like the Jew tunnels came from. Majority of jewelry store owners in New York are Jewish.
That just sounded way more anti-Semitic than it should.
No, really, that's the thing. No, like because of like deals like this basically the Yiddish community is really big in like diamond like trafficking and all that. Legal diamond trafficking, by the way. This is not conflict diamonds, as far as I know. And I wonder if them digging tunnels is it. Oh my God! Did this game predict the future? Oh my God!
sometimes.
Wait, this is a public store.
I was going to say if Batman fell into one of those pits and you heard, "Oi vey, they found a pit! They found another tunnel!"
Right? Do customers just randomly fall through floors when they shop here?
I smell a lawsuit.
There are hallways that just end and have massive
This
drops
Jewish
into
Batman
terrible
villain is like, you want I should kill the Batman?
You want I should kill the Batman? I was going to say, I have the sense of a mole. I don't understand why you want me to kill the Batman. He's gonna steal all our diamonds. I will kill the Batman immediately. Like, Chaim, bring the minigun.
platforming sequences where you need to awkwardly position
I'm
Batman
gonna say
to
it's
jump in.
it's just a yarmulke that's got a It's like odd job. It's a yarmulke instead of a top hat, instead of a bowler.
Kung Lao.
Oh God, Kung Lao.
Just the right way.
Oh,
Now, in this
God.
hidden room beneath the floor, there's a button. See that texture on the wall there? Button! You could walk right past it without knowing what it was.
These buttons need to be pressed in
Bhutan.
multiple instances to open areas where diamonds could be.
Interacting with level elements just like this is really important in this game, but don't think you can just walk up to anything and
God.
interact easily.
See this vent here? Well, you can go through vents in this game to find other rooms.
Okay, Batman, go into that vent.
Okay, that shouldn't be hard.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is all timed, ladies and gentlemen. This is all timed. Timed. So you'll have about 50 attempts. And next thing you know, Mr. Freeze will have like already done his crime and like taken down Gotham. Woo!
Yeah,
Oh,
I
thank
did
God.
it. Wait, who's that?
Well, at the end of each jewelry store section, you have a mini boss fight with Frosty, Mr. Freeze's right-hand man. We spent so long trying to get into that vent that
Frosty's right. His right literally freezes Frosty to death when he interrupts. Like, whoever made this game didn't actually. I guarantee you did not actually watch the movie.
Frosty successfully got away with the diamond you were supposed to protect.
Guano.
When you do successfully take out Frosty, you then have to go to another jewelry store in time to take him out again, and then to another jewelry store in time to take him out again, and then to another jewelry store to
Wait, I've got a plan.
What's the plan?
Here, watch. I go to the jewelry store early, see? I avoid the laser grid with my wicked bat moves. I go up an elevator, jump from one balcony to another, find a special hidden switch to unlock the vault, glide down to the vault, and save the diamond.
You just robbed the jewelry store.
No, I just helped the jewelry store.
You stole their diamond.
I
The name of the jewelry store is Glitterati.
saved their diamond.
What? But wait, you can't do that unless you wait for the alarm to go off. The doors won't even unlock in this game.
No, not at this jewelry store. They were pre-unlocked.
Do the owners of the jewelry store at least know you took it?
They will tomorrow.
Put the diamond back!
The game lets me do it.
Well, folks, he's right. It might have been an accident, but by going to this one jewelry store early, you can totally pre-steal diamonds.
Does that make the level easier?
No, because Mr. Freeze will still show up and you'll still have to beat him.
And then we're on to the next sequence of the game.
Or
Wait
we
for
would be,
Glitterati.
but we hit a police barricade. They don't let Batman through.
I thought we were friends.
So now we have to plan another route through the city blindly.
That's another 10 minutes where we had to reload the game to make up for lost time. The clock's always ticking here, people.
So now we find ourselves at the Botanical Gardens.
Let's take a little break here to point out how the art team replicated the visuals and locations of the film.
The Batcave
Okay, maybe they did actually watch the movie.
is a near mirror replica. The museum was also faithfully rendered to match just how it looked in the movie, lighting and all.
Same here at the Botanical Gardens. It's actually very impressive.
But even though this level is near identical to the movie version, they added one stupid thing that unless you were really closely paying attention to, can end your game right on the spot.
Blue lights.
These stupid lights randomly turn on. If Batman happens to be near them, his health will silently drain away.
Batman is fighting a whole
Why?
crew of bad guys that keep spawning all over, including...
How would you? There's no visual representation or reason for that to happen.
That's in Arkham. The cold zone is in Arkham. When Batman arrests Mr. Freeze, it's the only place Mr. Freeze can survive. Why is it in the Botanical Gardens? Where Poison Ivy is? It makes no sense. It's stupid. Oh.
Not to mention they didn't need to make the game any harder when it was already hard to play in the first place because the controls were trash.
another Frosty boss fight. All this while the blue lights
Frosty
slowly
bossy.
hurt Batman. There's no visual indication that this is happening. No sound to notify you that you're being hurt. You need to look at your health bar to know anything was up.
Defeat all of these obstacles, and Mr. Freeze appears and
garbage.
runs into the mouth of whatever that thing is there.
You pop out on the other side next to a bridge and a giant metal hand. The bridge is slippery and
Oh, wait, what
very
are these
broken.
fucking floating things that you're running through but he doesn't pick up?
I don't know. Is it health? Is it health?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think this is
Look
physically
like
possible.
weird magical DNA or something.
I don't know. Also, the hand where he beats Mr. Freeze is not attached to the botanical gardens. It's a chase that happens at...
Wait.
When you eventually make your way to the palm of the metal hand, you engage in battle with Mr. Freeze.
Lose this fight, and Mr. Freeze will use his special spinning balls thing to cast Gotham into a perpetual state of winter, killing everyone. We're not sure why Mr. Freeze is trying to do this.
We've got no explanation of what is happening. This doesn't even follow the movie's plot at all.
But of course, Batman, our brave hero, does what Batman does best.
Bat kick, bat kick, bat kick, bat kick, bat kick.
And Gotham's
Kick him in a
famous Cape
snowball.
Crusader saves the day, defeating the cold-hearted Mr. Freeze and sending him to jail.
Huh. Well, that was a tough one.
So
But
they
hey,
sent him to jail when you beat him the first time.
Yep.
finally finished the entire
No, you didn't.
game.
Oh.
Oh?
No! We completely forgot about Poison Ivy and Bane, the other villains from the movie who also appear in this game!
Folks, we've just experienced the first day. There's more.
Welcome to day 2.
What's the difference?
Not much, only this time you start off with no clues at all, so you'll need
If
to
you were
randomly
that
hunt through the
relieved to
streets.
be done at that point, like, why would you put yourself through any more of this? Just quit.
I would too. I would.
I know because you're making a video, but goddamn.
Yeah, exactly.
To hopefully find some. This is a slog, as is most of day 2. So you know what? Let's just speed things up and talk about the highlights of day 2.
Highlights!
We fight Poison Ivy and Bane for the first time. She poisons you, it inverts your controls, causes your character to stay still, and sometimes you can't attack.
You fight a horde of janitors.
We visit Axis Chemical, a location from the '89 Batman movie, where Batman jumps into random toxic chemical vats.
This feels tingly.
We fight Mr. Freeze and Axis Chemical when he's supposed to be in prison. This is an error in the game. How do we know this? When we beat the level, it says we beat Bane. That's not Bane.
Batman taints Gotham's water supply at the Gotham water plant by swimming in the drinking water. Side note, Batman can't swim.
So they couldn't be fucked to
We
put
visit our-
Bane in the right place. They just put Mr. Freeze back in again. Like,
I don't know. Again, the devs for this, I guarantee you they were under a time crunch, and they had lofty goals to actually make a more accurate representation of the movie. But Warner Brothers, I guarantee you, was just like, release it now! And they're like, but it's not ready. Can you give us 6 more months? Release it now! Okay, fine. Then the game comes out, it's like, this game is horrible! You're fired! It's like...
there's a good reason
Come
that
asylum.
games based on movies had a terrible reputation for a very long time.
It's because of...
To the point where basically they've kind of stopped making them at all anymore.
Well, yeah.
It got weird.
Highlights over. Now we're at the lowlights, Poison Ivy's lab, which in the Batman and Robin movie wasn't located in Gotham. So the game developers just flew the whole building smack dab in the middle of the city.
Here, Batman fights zombies, ghosts.
Is that a zombie?
Flew
That
the
looks like
whole
a
building
xenomorph.
smack
That's what I
dab
was
in the middle of
rewinding
the
to
city.
take a
Here,
look at.
Batman.
That's a xenomorph. That's not a zombie. That's a xenomorph.
At least pretty close to one.
That's a proto-xenomorph.
Batman fights zombies, ghost zombies, and giant tarantulas. All things that never appear in the movie.
Ivy doesn't have henchmen in the film, so they just made up stuff they thought would fit. Because, of course, I think of Poison Ivy, I think of zombies.
You first enter the stage into a greenhouse surrounded by doors you can't open.
So you kill one of the giant arachnids and it drops Batman's vine cutter. What is a random creature doing with this secret sophisticated piece of technology that only Batman should have access to?
Who knows? Better question, do you see vines in here?
No.
Correct! There are no vines in this room. Do you know what you need to do?
No.
Take your vine cutter and aim it at one of the green doors. Shoot a green laser at the green door to turn it not green, and bam, it opens with a punch.
How would you know to do that?
You
The game...
wouldn't.
They
It
probably
doesn't tell
intended
you.
to put vine textures on there, but again, they were rushed.
Didn't have enough
So
time.
it just ended up being green instead of actually vine textured.
Ugh.
Took us over an hour of gameplay to randomly try every item in our inventory on everything in the room just to discover that this is what you needed to do.
At the center of this simply awful location, Batman gets lost in a hedge maze that has no map or identifying features.
What it does have is specific walls that Batman can walk through that happen to look like a solid non-passable wall. This totally breaks the form and function of a maze, so you'll need to try to run into every single maze wall you see just to find your way out.
And be careful, because one false step could lead you falling into a pit that causes fall damage. But it also holds a secret lab that you need to go to, so you gotta fall.
Once in this secret lab, we find ourselves in the birthplace of Bane, pulled right from the movie. And as the game has taught us up to this point, we smash and poke everything we can, looking for clues
Wait,
and
can
items.
you not
Once we
glide?
found
I thought I saw him gliding earlier in the game.
You can, but in order to glide, you have to have forward momentum. When you fall straight down, there is no glide. There is just fall.
Everything we needed, we left the stage where...
We lost.
Okay, let's go back to the secret lab and look around some more. Maybe we missed a clue or didn't hit a lever or something.
Sure, back to the lab, search, smash, smash. We leave the level and...
Lost again!
Okay, back to the secret lab. Let's try and just touch things before we smash things.
Oh, look! A key item has appeared from a shelf that if you punched and destroyed, would have also destroyed the item without letting you know.
God.
Any indication at all that the item was there or that we shouldn't be punching things for the first time ever in the game?
Nope.
That's okay. We got the thing. Let's just leave the level and...
You still lose.
How? How have we still not beaten the...
Poison plants gone potty. Oh God. Who's the writer for the Gotham City Herald? A friggin' skibbity toilet spewing 3-year-old?
this level?
Okay, back to the maze. Let's get real good and lost and... Oh, look! Another secret lab!
Great. How did you find this one?
I found a tree in the middle of the maze that had a knot that once pushed revealed some doors that now might be open. I ran to one of the doors and found myself in a room. Now remember how we decided not to break things because the game just seconds before taught us not to break everything? Well, now you need to break certain things that can only be broken with a batarang, which reveals a secret room. Once in that secret room, you need to punch a brick wall that has absolutely no hints that it needs to be punched, which opens a completely separate secret lab from the first secret lab you found that has another key item you need to beat the level.
This whole stage is a madness-inducing roller coaster where you collect anti-venom items to beat Poison Ivy later, but I guess they're not really necessary because we already beat Poison Ivy in another battle early on.
For the keen-eyed of you out there, you probably noticed that our health wasn't depleting through the last batch of levels we played.
So, folks, we're gonna let you in on a little secret.
You game sharked it.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I don't blame
You
them.
got tired of retrying this shit and cheated.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
That we stumbled on that few people know about.
We found a random building that housed a secret room that had a bunch of computers all over. These computers, once clicked, revealed creepy faces.
These are the faces of the developers of this game. You can see these exact same images shown off in the credits as well. Some players of this game have found this room and dubbed it the developer room.
Why are they all
credits as well.
in the same style as like the Big Eyes paintings? Why?
Players of this game have found this room and dubbed it the developer room.
You can tell it's the developer room because a whole bunch of developers are still here, writhing in pain on the floor after having spent years making this game.
So, you turn on the monitors, punch these developers, and eventually you'll find a key on a desk.
What does the key do?
We didn't know, because the game doesn't tell you anything.
But if you go back to Wayne Manor from the outside, typically this is a place you can see but not enter, and you use this key, this happens.
Welcome to the secret Batcave, where you can
Use the cell recharge room, but this time it turns into a disco room where Batman dances.
No, Bat dance.
Why? You spent time doing this when you could have been making the game suck a little less.
Damn.
and use the health recharge room that now turns into a slower disco room where Batman also dances.
Dubba 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 Macarena. Dubba 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 Macarena. Dubba 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 dubba.
You can also touch this computer to activate Bat Galaga, a space Batman shoot 'em up that starts up with this single sound recording that we did not make.
I want my medication.
I want my
I don't
medication.
know. It's just there. He says it a lot, and I think it's the only time Batman
I don't
says
know why
anything in the
Steven
game.
won't stop saying that to me.
Medication.
I want my medication.
Use another computer terminal and you activate a Bat RC car where you control a tiny Batmobile and drive around a really strange destruction derby-like race.
I am the knight.
This is a really strange thing to see in the game, but what's even stranger is that Batman can exit the car and become full size again
What?
and return back to the car.
What? Huh? Okay, I need another drink.
This is so stupid.
And become small.
Batman big.
Batman small.
Batman big.
Batman small.
Batman big.
Batman Dubba 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 Macarena. Dubba 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 dubba.
Back to the secret Batcave. This one, unlike the original, is broken. Batman can jump into the air and, well, I guess he can finally practice his swimming.
Looking good! But what matters most is that under the stairs right over here is a special place. If you walk here, a gas sprays Batman, turning him invincible.
That's right. This is built directly into the game if you know how to find it.
It's not a cheat code, but it is very hard to get to.
And you know what? Maybe it might not even be worth getting because this game is somehow still incredibly difficult.
Invincibility doesn't make you totally invincible. You can still die in a number of ways. Remember, everything is timed, and when the clock stops, it's game over.
You'll still have to hunt for those same stupid clues, piling up useless information that eventually leads to a lack of understanding where to go next. Then the clock runs out of time, and well, you know what happens.
So, folks, here is our patented, tried and true way to find out where you need to go next without clues.
Find a Bat computer, save at the Bat computer, exit the Bat computer, let time advance until an alarm goes off. Wait a few minutes for the alarm to ping your map. Re-enter the Bat computer and the location of the alarm will be blinking. Now, reload the game from that earlier point and head on to the location before the alarm has a chance to go off.
So cheese it. You cheese it to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'll take it.
It's a cheap method, but boy, does it work when nothing else in this game does.
This method helped us finally make our way to the Turkish baths where we fight Ivy for the very last time. She's eaten by her own flower, which I guess she can't control anymore. That was in the movie, but it still doesn't make any sense. Who cares? The game is finally
J3?
Fuck! Oh,
Oh!
In day
that's pain. I feel that. I feel that, dude. I feel that just.
Finally!
J3?
No!
In day 3, all of Gotham has been frozen over by Mr. Freeze. Even the hapless residents on the sidewalks are
Thought
covered in
we
layers of
arrested him.
ice and are unresponsive.
It's okay, citizen.
What the
I'm
fuck?
Batman. I can help. Oh no!
I'm the Batman. Didn't do nothing. I'm the
Batman is
Batman.
led to an ice rink, which Freeze's men are using as a hideout.
Which you can't enter.
So you wait for an alarm to go off at the ice rink.
Okay, sure. So, instead of going through the doors of the ice rink, we need to solve a mind-bending puzzle where you...
Walk on the ice to form a giant letter F.
As in, fuck this game.
Gasp! Incredible! How did Mr. Freeze know my grade average in middle school?
So, you, like, draw the letter and then Batman just sorta sinks into the ice?
What's even happening here? Is he gonna drown?
No, he appears in an ice world underneath the rink that is one giant maze. In fact, it's similar to Ivy's maze level that is filled with trick doors, walls, and puzzle platforming.
Here you need to use your bat laser to laser ice walls so that they're slightly melted enough to punch them to reveal whole new secret areas.
We don't know how any of this even works. Nothing has been stolen here. We're not even the actual building for the ice rink. We can't explain any
my
of
God.
this.
And the game gets real lazy after this point, recycling levels from earlier on, like the museum and one of the jewelry stores. Now they're frozen and have ice everywhere, so they're like extra slippery and hard to walk around in. Great idea, cool, wonderful.
You can really tell that any passion or
Already
love for
looked
making
hard
this
to
game
control,
was
and I knew they were gonna do slippery fucking floors whenever they showed the ice earlier.
I actually feel sorry for these guys having to play through this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for them. This would make any normal person go insane. God.
Hope when
Totally
they got
gone
done
by
with
this-
it, they took it outside and frisbeed the disc into a lake.
Oh, dude. Wood chipper. Like, I would not want anyone else to experience this. I would give it the same treatment that the guys in Office Space gave to that goddamn printer. I would literally grab my goddamn baseball bat and I would literally beat it into pieces. I would I would reduce it to atoms. Christ. Oh, the pain.
Point.
This is where we introduce the 3 computer stores, because now Mr. Freeze needs computer chips to do something. We don't know. He needs them.
Each store
Try
uses
hard.
the exact same level layout and design. The only difference is that each store enters from a different door somewhere else on the map. They didn't think we'd notice, but we did.
The best part is that to hide what they did, they placed countless walls that you need to break down that have no visual identifiers that they need to be broken down.
Get ready to punch everything, and usually find nothing.
There's one part in the level that was so bad it managed to merge several terrible elements at once. A hidden room that you access by punching a wall that reveals another room you access by punching a wall that reveals a hidden vent that you need to know exactly where to stand that leads you through a tiny passage that has a specific wall you need to hit to reveal another hidden room.
This isn't a game, it's a torture device.
When you save the computer
This is
chips,
hell.
or whatever the heck you were supposed to be doing, we finally go to Mr. Freeze's lair, snowy cones, just like in the movie.
Only instead of it being a simple room, it's a full-on massive factory with another huge, complicated maze requiring bat lasers and punches and just so much more awful.
There's a room with a bunch of boxes you never seen in the game before that need to be destroyed with a unique missile weapon. Once blown up, they trigger a door to open somewhere else in the map. How do you know to destroy the boxes? How do you know to use that one missile weapon you might have run out of already? It's one of the great mysteries of the game.
And after fumbling around for what seems like forever, you fall from the maze into a fridge with Mr. Freeze.
We have a very awkward boss fight of a flight of stairs that was about as complicated as it looked.
Once he's defeated, we find ourselves alone in a freezer.
Now this part is special. There's a hidden room here, one the game does not in any way inform you of.
But if you watch the movie, you would know that there was a hidden button behind a frozen dinner that revealed Mr. Freeze's inanimate wife in a tube.
Nora, yeah. I would put her out of her misery just so she wouldn't have to be in this game.
She's a flat layer and
I
not
was
a 3D
trying to remember
model.
her name so I could do earlier with Terry Crews as Mr. Freeze. Nora!
Nora! You're an ice cube! But I still love you!
Which makes her look super realistic.
So we've gone through virtually all of Gotham, taking on countless enemies and saving countless diamonds and
Don't say it. Don't you dare fucking say it.
foiling plans.
It's time to finish it. We're
Oh,
going to
thank
Gotham
God. I thought they were going to be like, day 4.
Observatory, the climactic end scene from the movie, and the final stage of this wretched video game.
This stage is long, winding, and needs to be completed in one go because just like we said all the way at the beginning, no lives, no continues.
We arrive and are immediately met face to face with Freeze, who you fight off. And that's the first boss battle.
You make your way to a sprawling section of cliffs with countless bad guys who have freeze cannon weapons that can hit you from a great distance and push you back.
Why is that a concern?
Death! 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 Death!
Why does this keep happening to me?
It's like the fucking archers in Anne Orlando.
Oh my
Dark
God,
Souls.
those bastards. I hate them.
It's like, it's an act of evil to do level design like that.
Yes, it is. It is pure evil.
I thought it was Evil Genius from software, but it turns out they just had played this game and were just like, you know what would be funny is that we copied that bullshit.
Yeah, Miyazaki's just like, I was tortured by having to complete this game, and now I'm going to torture everyone else by giving them arguably the most painful experience from that game. Have fun.
Each time that happens, you need to reload all the way to the start, before you first defeated Mr. Freeze.
Now, if you happen to pass Freeze and get through the cliffs, you'll fight people through the observatory until you get to a room housing a telescope that Mr. Freeze has turned into a giant ice ray. Why does he need a giant ice ray now to freeze Gotham when he had a weapon earlier that could already do it? Who knows? But now we're here.
You'll encounter Bane, who seems to be stronger than ever before. You'll also need to attack other enemies who spawn randomly around you throughout this fight.
We got very close to beating this, but when we finally took out Bane, we were hit by a freeze cannon blast randomly that pushed us in.
Uh-oh.
To the 3D model of the telescope, locking us into place with no escape. You know what that means?
We had to
Restart
the game and the entire level all over again.
So, we did. We beat Mr. Freeze, got through the cliffs, fought through the observatory, beat Bane and countless goons, and suddenly, Mr. Freeze spawned again because he would, leaving us to one final battle, taking on that giant cold dolt once and for all.
After all of this, we finally beat the stage on freezing Gotham and saving countless people. Except this guy.
After the final uninspiring cutscene, it immediately clips back to the main menu as if you had done nothing at all. And if you manage to actually accomplish what we did right here, it feels like you had completed the impossible.
Batman and Robin may well be one of the most impressive and visually striking disasters we've ever played. It single-handedly demonstrates advanced game design mechanics that are complex, interesting, and perhaps borderline revolutionary.
But the whole game falls apart with not a single aspect working as the developers likely intended. Or heck, maybe they did intend this. We don't know. It's the video game equivalent of having an ice cream headache for 3 days straight. It's unacceptable, unrewarding, and downright vicious at what it requires you to accomplish to beat this game.
Oh boy, could this be worse than Batman Dark Tomorrow, the game that we both called the worst Batman game ever?
Could it be worse? Easily. But know that these two games are not just linked by Batman alone. Probe Entertainment, the company that made this game, had a founder. He left to go make another company called HotGen, and they were one of the developers that helped make Batman Dark Tomorrow.
No way.
Some dudes made 2 shitty Batman games.
How bad do you like? Okay. How bad of a game dev do you have to be?
Tomorrow.
So, it's linked to another terrible game as well as a movie considered by many to be one of the worst films ever made. But if you ask both of us, Batman and Robin on the PS1 is something that stands completely on its own as an icon, a bastion of pure tedium. The movie might be dumb, silly fun, but the game?
It's just bad.
I got nothing else to say about this game except for I want it to die in a fire. I want it to die in a fire, and I never want anyone to ever have to suffer through it. Like, I am suffering just from having to watch Ramirez play through this shit. I couldn't imagine having to play through this myself.
I'm not working my blood pressure up about it. It is what it is. Glad I never played it.
Save. All right.
Glad I never have to. I need my medication.
Alright, everyone, thank you all very much for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Steven, why you do this to us, man? We'll see you in the next one.